Hello, Brianne here of Cookie and Bees. This is my podcast, The Running Stitch, and thanks for joining. Today I have two finished projects to show you, my current whip, and I have a new item in the shop that's available, and I have some information about the splash pad party that I am from Boston Gin that I am sponsoring. So I'll start with that information. Last week, the last video, I had mentioned that I'm a sponsor for Boston Gin Splash Pad Party. And basically that is you earn points by finishing projects within a certain time period. And the kickoff party is not this weekend, but the following weekends, Saturday and Sunday of May 30th and 31st. And many sponsors are part of the kickoff, and a lot of us are hosting meetings, whether it's Google Hangout, Zoom, Instagram Live, or something like that, that you can join and meet the sponsors. Some of them are just doing knit-alongs. I will be doing a Instagram Live on Saturday, May 30th at 2 p.m. And if you do not follow me on Instagram, my handle is Cookie and Bees all together. And so please join. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I might do a little bit about me, because I've never really shared that much about me. So I may, just introduce myself. We might knit and chat, and you can ask questions or whatever. I'm not really sure yet. So that's to be determined. But please join, and in Boston Gin's Ravelry group, which I am linking below in the description, you can find out what time other sponsors are hosting their hangout, so that you can learn about them or, partake in whatever they are showing. So I'm really excited about that. And also in her Ravelry group, you will see all of the rules, regulations, deadlines, and everything like that for the summer party. And so you can earn points to earn one of the sponsor giveaways. And I am giving away a coupon code or a gift card for $20 to my shop. All right, so what's next? Oh, so my two finished projects. This one is a beret. The yarn is Yarnable. As I mentioned, I'm a Yarnable subscriber. Yarnable is a monthly yarn box that is hosted by Hypnotic Yarn. This was the May yarn. The pattern is called Blue Beret. It's by Abby Knits. And this is a kind of an extra large, like slouchy, oh, it goes this way, slouchy beret. And I used pretty much the entire skein. So my skein was fingering weight. It does call for DK, so I held my yarn double. It's like smashing down my hair. And I had very little yarn left. So I always like those projects, because then I don't have to think about what do I do with this leftover yarn. So basically, when you're done with the entire beret, you grab a pretty big chunk of the hat and you twist it until you're happy with it. And then I took my tapestry needle, thread some of my leftover yarn, and tacked my swirl in place. So then that takes off a pretty large bulk of the slouch, so that it's not like falling off your head. And so it just kind of stays as a beret. So you can see the colors. It has lots of blues and purple, but with gray undertones for both of those, plus some speckles. I thought it was a beautiful, beautiful colorway. So that was actually a pretty fast project. It didn't take me very long, and it's just simple knit slip with the yarn in front and then a row of that, and then a row of knit, and you just go on until you've repeated a certain amount of time. I don't remember, it was several rows, and has a really nice star decrease that looks pretty. This was fun, and it was fast, and I love hats. So I live in Virginia now where it gets pretty chilly, so I'll be wearing lots of hats, and I like matching a hat to my outfit, so I'm excited to have a lot of them. Something I showed before that I've been working on a while. This pattern, these are shorts. They look see-through, but they're really not whenever I wear them. I think it's because there was a window in the background. These are called light summer shorts, and the pattern designer is Holly C. Watson, and I will link this pattern and this one below. When I was on Facebook several weeks ago and saw, I'm not gonna remember, it was a yarn dyer who had knit the shorts, and now I can't remember the yarn dyer. Was it Witch Candy? I could totally be wrong. I cannot remember for the life of me. It may have not been her. I should have looked before I started talking. Anyway, a yarn dyer had posted that she had made this really cute pink pair. And I thought, well, I want that. And so I bought the pattern. And this yarn is a cotton yarn from Hypnotic Yarn. It was something that she had not put in her shop, and I begged, borrowed, and stole to get 2 skeins. And it was fingering weight. I made a lot of changes to this pattern, and in one of my previous videos I talked about some of my changes. I decreased my needle size significantly because I wanted it to be a tighter knit, and so that meant that I needed to cast on more. So I took my waist circumference where I wanted my shorts to fall, and first I knit a gauge swatch with the size 2 needles. Based on that, I took what I wanted for my waist. I did that math based on my gauge per, I think I did it at 4 inches, my gauge per 4 inches, and did the math to get to my finished waist measurement of, I believe it was 28 that I decided to land on, because I also knew that they would be stretchy. Well, the ribbon is tied right now, so it's not stretchy, but it normally is. So I did that math, and that happened to be really close to the cast on for the size large. And so that's what I did. I followed the instructions for knitting, but I knit until the hip measurement, so this is my waist, the hip measurement, which was right here, until that was the hip measurement I wanted. So along, you'll see there's a seam on the front and on the back. That's where you're increasing. So I continued those increasing per the pattern until I got my hip distance that I wanted. So my hip, personally, like whenever I measure, is 35. And I knit until, how wide were these? Until I think it was 45 or 46, because I wanted them to be loose, but I didn't want them to be like super flouncy. I wanted them to be just right? Not too big, not too little, just right. And so at that point I stopped increasing. And so you'll notice that here's my front seam, and it was increase, 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 and then you won't see the increases right here. So there were not very many rounds that I knit that I didn't increase before I separated the legs. So I knit until I got to the hip circumference that I wanted. I knit straight down until the top of my shorts, down to the crotch. This is where I separated my legs, was the rise on my body. And your rise is, well, I say rise, but let's say the distance between where you want the top of your shorts to fall and your crotch. So basically I wanted them below my belly button. So I took my soft tape measure. I measured right below my belly button all the way down to my crotch. And that was approximately like 9-ish inches. And then I went ahead and just rounded up to 10 to have a little bit of extra at the crotch because I don't want them to be like tight. I wanted some ease in there because they're supposed to be flowy, right? So then once I was at my increase from my hip where I wanted, I continued just straight knitting until this distance was 10 inches. And then I separated for the legs. Finally, the last change that I did, which is totally not a big deal in the pattern, it just has you knit to the end and cast off or bind off. I wanted to minimize the rolling. So on the last 6, 7 rounds, I purled around, knitted around, so the last couple are in garter stitch. So, I mean, it does kind of roll up at the bottom, but it kind of flips up instead of like rolling up, which I prefer. And then I think I knit, the pattern says knit until you have like 2 or 3 inches, that's what I did for each leg. So they fit really, really well. I have a picture up on Instagram if you want to see some action shots of the front and the side and the back. I really enjoyed the pattern. I'm very happy with how they turned out. I do highly recommend using cotton. I think wool would be really hot. So maybe if you want to wear wool shorts during the winter, if you're like just chilling on your couch at home, that might be good if you're kind of chilly but not so much. But if you're wanting some light summery spring shorts, really get cotton because it would just be, I would sweat wearing wool shorts. So that was my second finished project. My current whip, I'm making socks with the Crazy Sock Lady, Kay, her Do-Si Dose sock pattern, and I have it right here. And I will link this on below as well. And this pattern is cool because it has these kind of a chevron on the front of the sock, and it works really well with self-striping yarn. Or if you're doing scrappy socks or something like that, something where it's striped, or even just a solid color, it's fine. But I got this pattern because I fell in love with this yarn. This yarn is Desert Vista Dye Works. She specializes in self-striping yarn. Back in March, she had a Top Gun 5-stripe colorway. And so it has red, white, and blue, olive drab, and gold. Top Gun is my favorite movie. I love everything about that movie. I'm so excited to see the second one, which of course was supposed to come out next month, and I believe that they are delaying that release for who knows how long. Hopefully it's not too long because I'm very excited to watch it. And so I cast these socks on not that long ago, Thursday or Friday night, I can't remember. So I'm pretty close to finishing up the first sock. This pattern does have a heel flap and gusset, which of course, since I ended up using colors on the heel and not knitting the front, you can tell that it kind of disrupted the correct sock, the correct stripe. But I mean, you could also do the afterthought heel if you wanted your stripes to be correct, or like if you do have the self-striping yarn. It doesn't really bother me. Totally fine with this. And so I don't know, maybe not quite halfway done with the foot of the first sock, and I'm super loving it. I know I did make a little boo-boo. I cast on the smallest size, which was 56 stitches, and whenever I did the entire top cuff and realized I had actually only cast on 54 stitches. So here I had to add 2 stitches so that it would be correct. So hopefully I'll be able to get this over my heel. It should be fine. But I super love these. Isn't that really cute? So it's just like an increase and decrease to get this little chevron on the front, and then the back is just stripes. You could also do this on the back too. Really easy 2 round repeats, super fast to memorize, and these just go really fast. I think I've made a lot of progress on them because I knit while my kids are doing their distance learning. And my younger one I sit next to and help her and guide her through everything. And so I get a lot of work done with that. And work, I mean knitting, right? So really like how this is turning out. I will link Desert Vista Dye Works in case you're interested. I just saw on Instagram today that she is coming out with all of her June colorways. And one of them is Garfield. And I don't know about y'all, but I grew up loving Garfield, read all the comics in the newspapers whenever we would get them. And the super funny ones I had like cut out and clipped and like saved on I had like a bulletin board in my room, and I would tack them up there. And so that was a really cute colorway I saw. She has some really cool stuff for y'all to check out. All right, and lastly, I have a new item in the shop. So something that I don't have in the shop that I've honestly been working really hard on is a Notions pouch. For a while, I was offering the Notions taco, which was like a little half circle that you can unzip and it lays flat. And I was never 100% satisfied with it. They were really finicky to sew. It was my own pattern that I had created, and there was nothing wrong with the pattern, but I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't like it. And so I took them out of the shop, and I've been trying to figure out what kind of Notions pouch to offer. And I have finally come up with something. This is not my own design. It was a pattern that I purchased, and I think it's pretty cute. So it's fairly large. It's like the size of my palm. And if I remember the dimensions correctly, the pouch itself is about 5 inches. This right here is about 3 inches. And at the tallest part, it's about 2 inches. So it has a pull tab on one end to make holding it and unzipping it easy. So when you unzip it, you have a really nice lined pouch. And one of the issues with Notion pouches I have is that once you get it open, it's really hard to like dig in. And a lot of them have like points, like the triangle boxes, you have points, and then you get like your stitch marker stuck in there, or you can't, because I keep all my stitch markers in one, and then like in my one pouch, I have all my stitch markers. I have a tapestry needle, usually multiple tapestry needles, and multiple cable needles, and I have my needle covers, and I mean just everything is in there. And then all those little things like fall into the points, and then I can't find it and I get upset and whatever. So I didn't want that. So this one, since it's 5 inches wide, it opens pretty wide as well. And there are no hidden cubbies for anything to get stuck. So you can easily see everything that's in there. And I think that's pretty awesome. Then on the other end, we have a tab and put in a clip. And the clip will clip on to any zipper. And so a lot of my larger bags, my small bag doesn't have an interior zipper, but it does have the exterior zipper. So, I mean, you could hook it there if you wanted. All my other bags all have an interior zipper. Of course, I don't have a bag available right now, but you can clip it. Let me grab one. Here's the sock monkey medium bag. This is really cute. I don't know if I ever showed you, but it has this lovely high quality herringbone fabric on the inside that really matches the sock monkeys. These bags are incredibly cute. I've been thinking I might keep one for myself. I digress. So on the inside of my bags, we have the zipper pouch or the zipper pocket. So this will clip onto the zipper pull. There we go. And then you won't lose it. It's not gonna fall out. And there we go. It's clipped in. And it gives you, this makes this zipper on the inside a nice little zipper pull too. So, can you, not holding it so you can see. Anyway, so I am pretty satisfied with this one. And I think unless I find something better or create something on my own that I think is better, this is the only one that's in the shop right now, because this one I was actually not, I was just making this one just as like a trial, and it turned out really well. And so I went ahead and put it in the shop. This fabric I have called watercolor flowers, something like that. You can search watercolor and it will come up. I have also 4 cake cusies in this pattern and a small bag. That's what's left for this pattern design. All right, so that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.